Yo, this video show my POV from the Bearded Brawl tournament with $2,000 cash prize. Hope you guys will enjoy it.
3, 2, 1, brawl! Victory! Oh! Brawl! Brawl! Destruction! 3, 2, 1, brawl! Brawl! 2, 1, brawl! 3, 2, 1, brawl! Three, two, one, brawl! Three, two, one, brawl! 1, brawl! Obliteration! 3, 2, 1, brawl! 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 Three, two, one, brawl!
Yeah, no time to waste whatsoever. We have Ahmed versus Fezaru, and I gotta say, my friend, I'm very excited for this matchup. We have ourselves a doozy on our hands. Ahmed has been on a hair. And I gotta say, if I'm Fezaru right now, I am out to get Ahmed because he was eliminated by Fezaru in the Kyokai League EU Cup in the lower finals not too long ago, so he's out for revenge.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting that they're able to keep this so close, as Fezaru down quite a couple PR placements, as Ahmed is right behind Moonir and Godly in the PR for the 1v1 space. And Ahmed is really, really interesting because he's somebody that actually streams a lot, so I'm able to follow his progression. You know, he was playing Petra early on, and last year we also saw him pick up the Katars with the gauntlets there as the Katars got really strong, but it looks like we're going to be some Cannon, which I think might find similar strength due to the changes similar to Katars did in their most recent patch. The Unlight comes out as well. Looking for this weapon toss here is Ahmed. No, just holding on to the stage.
I didn't get to see the stats as we headed into the game. That's Ahmed running 10 attack, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not too sure
Oh,
what the
good lord.
stance is there. If it is, that's quite scary.
Yep, and we can see it. Casual bread and butter from the cannon. It's going to be stock number 1 off of Fezaru. Keep in mind, too, Yumiko, fast and defensive. Losing that early on, 70 damage only applied to Ahmed now. That's going to be a long hill to climb. Yumiko is entirely based off of player manipulation. You need to get those positions down against your player and have a follow-up ready at your disposal. Ledge guarding is going to be important too. Ahmed is staying entirely on the stage, and in 3 hits, that's Fezaru nearly losing his second stock.
Yeah, this Zol pick from Ahmed has been incredibly potent and has fully leaned into the cannon here. I mean, kind of using the cannon both as a string weapon and as a big option, a big read option, but also like kind of like Axe, just getting the 1-2 hits. GC downlight into the weapon pickup Nair. The best combo starter in the entire game is GC downlight, and that cannon Nair is going to be one of the best KO options. It's always good when you can KO off the top. Ahmed with a big read there, going to the ground pound. Fzaru interrupting it. Down stick comes out into a side air, but look how little damage has been built up on Ahmed there. We see a big read, and it doesn't even send Ahmed anywhere. You still have so much work to do just to take the stock.
Yeah, not a whole lot of room to work with right now for Fezaru in game 1. Good way to get back on stage, though. Okay. Ahmed being a little silly now. Okay.
They're both just letting it rip right now. Finally, Fezaru with a more conventional option. GC downlight into the ground pound there on the unarmed. And Ahmed loses his first stock, but Ahmed is just... I mean, he's been, I dare I say, just unstoppable here. I'm surprised it's not a restock with how it looks. Yeah, battle tank. Great way of putting it.
Now, Yumiko's got to find a way to beat this battle tank, disassemble it. Looking down straight in the barrel. Using the bow, grounded gameplay, having a way to stifle out Ahmed. But again, that's easier said than done. You have to rely on player manipulation. But even if you get hit with a D-Sig, there's no follow-through from Fezaru. He cannot set up in time. And the gravity cancel D-Sig, it wasn't enough. Ahmed clearly winning game number 1.
It's so crazy to see how confident he looks on a level 19 legend. To me, this tells me that Ahmed is here to stay in this European meta right now because he's looking incredibly strong on even a pick that he's not really played much as far as I'm concerned. I mean, level 19 versus Fezaru's level 100 Yumiko pick. And he looks quite good. He's actually, okay, so he's in the defense stats, but he's still 9 strength, and that's going to be 6 defense. So, I mean, he is incredibly tanking here, taking a hit on the dex, not too worried about that. 7, another notable low dex cannon legend that's really, really solid. So, I mean, he's just looking like maybe taking advantage of how strong a lot of the top players think Cannon is right now.
Absolutely. Look, even at BCX, he was rocking Petra versus Radish versus Kira versus a lot of different players. But swapping over to the Zol, he has been on a tear. Like you said, the only player that's been able to stop him, at least in this year, given it's only been 11 days, was Bamia. Everybody else, Bakonko, 7 DLA, Fezaru, have all struggled against the Zol.
The cannon play has been really, really impressive for Ahmed as he's able to get, 2 or 3 hits, kind of similar to what he does on Orb, but it just does that much more damage. Fzaru, a nice GC signature to get back to the stage quickly and unarm Ahmed there as he picks up an axe. This is going to be the first time we're seeing the Ahmed axe come out as Fzaru has dominated this game with the hammer already. Nair comes out into a cider. I eat my words immediately as Ahmed forces him off stage. The run up Endlight misses the Endlight, but a Nair will come out and Ahmed is covering every option right now. Fzaru with a GC downlight into recovery to get himself back to the stage, but immediately eating an unarmed Nair there, dodging through that cider. Ahmed puts himself on a bad spot. The weapon spawns so late though for Fzaru, who cannot capitalize, can't find the KO option, avoiding the down sig. Ahmed, a lot of discipline here looking for that KO.
Great way of putting it, PJ. The discipline coming out from Ahmed has been incredible. Not following through, not getting hit by that D-Sig coming out from Fezaru was really good patience not to get baited out. He's been actively thinking in every engagement. And what could have been a stock ender, that one eventually is. Fezaru is at 200 damage. Literally anything from Ahmed's kit will take down this first stock. No, yeah, case in point.
Unarmed Nair is crazy. That's going to KO off the side there, even as Ahmed now is able to even up this stock count. And without a weapon and without maybe your hammer being cycled, I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going to be seeing the bow. This matchup was just disastrous and ruinous for Fezaru's chances in the last game. We'll see if it comes into effect once again, as Ahmed has already showed his dominance in this matchup.
Definitely a big download game one for Fezaru to figure out how Ahmed wants to play. Overly aggressive, ways of evasion, using these signatures that Fezaru has at his disposal to stop the positioning of Ahmed needs to be the key to success.
Nice whiff punish on that side air. Very important to whiff punish cannon when you can. Be confident in your ability to react to the cannon option, but not run away so completely that you can't punish the cannon. That's the name of the game, especially in neutral. Down light side air, case in point there. Down sit comes out. Ahmed recovering low. No recovery from Fezaru, but a GC down light is recovery. He bounces off the wall, so not as much knockback there. And an unarmed recovery. And I like the tricky option from Ahmed to down air into the stage. Fezaru reads right through with a ground pound.
Absolutely. Bow's back out again now. Fezaru's in a healthy spot. Keep in mind, I say as healthy can be against someone like this Zol. Literally, any attack will be like a signature's output. You have to be so careful. But Fezaru, he's taking his time, trying to play into the down sig. Does not connect, but it puts Ahmed in an awkward spot. Goes for the recovery, does connect. Weapon throw is out. Rifling out, making sure this cannon can't find the same string success as it did back on Fortress of Lions. Fezaru, having to play carefully, reads the follow-up, dodges around, bounces back and forth, misses the Nair. Ahmed, still good, but somehow the GC down sync does not connect.
Yeah, a lot of intelligence and kind of control there from Ahmed to not immediately jump side air, realizing the down sig would have hit him. So he dashes underneath the down sig and then runs up with a side air. Really, really good stuff from Ahmed. And that's the little optimization that Ahmed will keep in this game. Fezaru, though, to give him his flowers. And the lead here and looking to take this take this game with a down sig into recovery, coming out, looking for this hammer. Right? Side sig comes out. No punish. No hit either.
Oh. Nice! There it is. 1-1 now for both players. Last time these two players faced wasn't that long ago. I think days ago. And it went 2-3. Fezaru unfortunately falling to the hands of Ahmed.
And it looks like Ahmed's going to be picking up a pair of gauntlets like he did in the last year that had so much success with the Petra. Instead, now we see a Devil Jin. Level 100 for Ahmed, though. Definitely practiced.
Absolutely. Interesting to see how it plays out. We saw a lot of Petra again back at BCX from Ahmed's side. So going to the Devil Jin, you have that bow mirror to work with, and so positioning is going to be very important still. But the gauntlets, they get up close, especially punishing the amount of SIGs that we're seeing from the Yumiko kit on Fezaru will be huge, a huge advantage for Ahmed. Starting off though, double bow mirror. Big game of footsies. Ahmed playing on the back heel, waiting for a position punish off of Fezaru. Does find at least a little bit. Going for the Nair early on, had a side air. As long with it, he's just catching the position, catching the landings, excuse me, off of Fezaru. Hammer's out now. Fezaru, this is his chance to catch the landings off of Ahmed and maybe find a way to downlight side air. Can't quite find it though.
These landing nairs have been really good from Ahmed. These whip punishes in the neutral state, and as well as just positioning himself in ways that are kind of tricky for Fezaru to punish. There, the Yensig will punish the tricky positioning. I will stop my analysis there as Fezaru completely dismantles what I was going to say. Ahmed, though, getting a big side air there, and another chase high side air with the gauntlet to close out that stock. I was going to say Ahmed putting himself in good spots to whiff punish with the bow, using those extended hitboxes on down air, and then landing back down with Nair when he can hit a down air or a side air. Really good stuff from Ahmed. Fezaru, though, evens up the damage a little bit, but you're down to stock, so you have a little bit of work to do.
Ahmed has a lot more freedom now in the aerial plays. Not to say that the cannon doesn't have any, but it's very horizontal based. But the verticality now that Ahmed can employ off stage is going to be bar none compared to the Zul. Fezaru's going to have to be very careful. Can't rely on off stage play. Oh, just barely touches it back on. That got scary for a second. Fezaru attempts to use his kit. Unfortunately, though, the lanterns do not connect. Great side air coming out, though. A near stock reset for both players.
I think it's so crucial there that Fezaru doesn't like try to force off stage and just holds the stage and say, you know what, I'm playing Yumiko. I'm confident I'm going to find a KO. If Ahmed has to recover that low and burn so many options, it could be very bad for your mental to not finish the job off stage and then try to go off stage. It doesn't work, and then Ahmed gets a little bit more extra credit. Instead, Fezaru holds on to his wherewithal there once again. Another downer into Nair. Doesn't get the... Sorry, downlight into Nair. Doesn't get the Nair connection. Ahmed looking for the signature read. Downlight side air for Fezaru. And now you set up the Yumiko play. The lanterns come out and just overall looking to close in Ahmed into the corner there. But Ahmed makes it back to the stage. Fezaru, a lot of respect to Ahmed there. Giving up the stage control and actually goes to the soft platform to avoid this bow. And we see why immediately as Ahmed gets a victory piece there.
Oh, attempts to go for the for the GC down sig. Does not connect. But feeds are out. Fezaru was looking scary for a second, but now has that small lead over Ahmed.
Wow, I mean, Fezaru having such a smart option there to close out that stage control with a down sig, and then immediately Ahmed just goes to the other side. I thought Fezaru was going to read that. Nice down air. That was crazy, that down air calling out the dash through the down sig. Yeah, that didn't look like it should have. Oh, and another edge light.
The lanterns now.
Crazy.
Yumiko is one of my favorite legends in this game just because, again, her kit is completely unique with having these lanterns coming out. It forces your position to either completely disengage or you have to follow through in a very specific spot. And that just allows so much more pivot and punish opportunities off the hands of someone like Fezaru, just like that hammer down air we saw. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Fezaru still has a lot of work to do here. Gonna have to find a way to keep that damage below Ahmed's right now. These lanterns have been a good sign. Forces Ahmed to disengage away. Forces a reset.
Interesting check from Ahmed there to start with a downlight. Fezaru with a big recovery. His edge guards have been quite brutal against Ahmed as Ahmed sneaks past that side air with an end light of his own, but he doesn't get much more. And now as he looks to kind of hone in here. Avoids the Nair. The downer comes out. Sideline into Nair. Side air sends him low. Ahmed now looking for this edge guard opportunity. The Nair comes out. Doesn't get it. Recovery from Fezaru, avoiding the end sig. A lot of intelligence and a lot of calm in the storm for Ahmed to avoid that end sig with a jump away. And he goes for a slam dunk of his own. Fezaru not in a position to punish it. The weapon goes away. He can't pick up a weapon. GC downlight into the stage. Ahmed punishes him with a side air and now swaps over to another pair of gauntlets. One hit separates Ahmed from this set lead. But Fezaru getting a D-light into ground pound and it KOs outright. And Fezaru steals that game away, doing 126 less damage than his adversary. And I mean, it just didn't matter as that was able to KO that angle just barely enough to avoid the stage. And now Fezaru with a set lead.
Big pace change coming out from Fezaru. You love to see it. He slowed his game down a lot. Once again, he followed through with the Yumiko kit. He forced out different positions off of Ahmed, made sure he couldn't be overly aggressive, played off stage almost perfectly every time. And while there were some great moments, of course, coming out from Ahmed, it was the fact that we didn't see the gauntlets have as much high-octane priority as, say, like Vizal, right? You don't have that same damage output. The Fezaru has a much better chance of retaliating and playing a much more 50-50 matchup.
Hit there for Fezaru now, and that ground pound barely getting the mark onto Ahmed, and now Ahmed in a terrible spot. GC downlight into ground pound, and Ahmed makes it back. Fezaru, I love that discipline, just saying, you know what, I'm not going to go off stage and close it out. I'm instead going to go for a weapon. I don't want to give Ahmed an opportunity to get back in this game, or at least into the stock. GC side sig, the big call out there from Fezaru. Doesn't find its mark, but the down air will scoop and score. Not quite score yet, though. There comes out another big open up for Ahmed. He goes for another GC sidelight. Not quite the option you want to see. Down sig comes out and Nairs from Fezaru. Now you're in that KO potential for the hammer on the Yumiko. Ahmed, knowing that, is going to try to play a little bit more tricky. That Nair barely not enough to KO.
Oh, but the second time's the charm. Great down sig coming out from Fezaru into a Nair. Absolutely what you want to see. A great lead now over Ahmed. And this could be the change of history. It went game 5 last time these two played up against each other, and Fezaru fell after 2 games. It was Ahmed for 3. But this is his chance after reviewing the footage and learning his homework to change things around.
Just a run-up end light there. Ahmed now forcing Fezaru into the corner. That's going to be a recovery, and it gets called out with that end-sig recovery attempt. Ahmed puts himself in a great spot, reading right through the trajectory of that Wisp with that gauntlet recovery. Fezaru now definitely in dire situation here as Ahmed has the weapon to Fezaru. Fezaru picks up the hammer though, and a GC N-Sync is big. It sends Ahmed low. The deep side air comes out, doesn't get the side air or the recovery. Ahmed races to the stage and makes it back quickly. No full rush in there as the down air doesn't come out for Fezaru. A down sync comes out. Ahmed reads through the down sync with a big open up nair into the sideline, into the nair, into the down air, into the nair, into the sideline, into the recovery. Now Ahmed honing in on a stock as he's somehow come back into this game. And it's looking quite scary for Fezaru as he's trying to get some control now, but the down sync will not give him much. Ahmed taking that stock.
Beautiful work. Great down sync coming out from Ahmed. It was enough to shut down Fezaru. That wasn't a complete string from the gauntlets too. I even said going into this match that we didn't see a ton of gauntlets being used super effectively. It was still used, of course, but this is a whole different level. This is what I was expecting to see off the Devil Jin pick. But now Fezaru has to play very aggressively. He's got to match up this damage somehow. Playing the slow and patient game's not working anymore. GC downlight does not connect Ahmed, barely staying out of the way. Waiting for a chance for Fezaru to come back forwards, possibly expecting the GC neutral sig. Tide air doesn't work, neither does the GC downlight, but neither does the recovery. Nothing's been working for Fezaru. He's got to think of a new option. Another neutral sig does not connect. Recovery's out. Ahmed found his opportunity. He tries to go in. Fezaru shuts it down. GC D-light into the scoop, but again, no score. Into a side air. Fezaru finally has a chance to breathe.
Ahmed, without a weapon here, is going to try to look for some way to close out this stock and force this game number 5. Fezaru knows the gravity of this, and you don't want to go to game 5 versus a player like Ahmed. Tier number 3 of EU for a reason. Cider comes out, sending Fezaru quite low, looking to close out this stock off the bottom with a gauntlet. Weapon toss comes out, sweat beads come out, and a recovery will be the answer with a JV2. Ahmed moves into game 5.
Oh my. I mean, take the stats as you will, but Ahmed is the highest ranked EU player in the entire tournament. He's number 6 global right now. He has been grinding more than he's ever had before. So now for game 5, we have one last attempt now from Fezaru to make sure he doesn't get game 5 again this week.
We go all the way back to Miami Dome for game number 5. Ahmed and Fezaru want to move forward, want to keep their dreams alive in the top 8 of this $2,000 event ran by Bearded Brawls here, as both pick up a weapon, the bow versus the gauntlets. We've seen this matchup before in this tournament, but not quite like these two players, masters of their legends here. Ahmed getting hit with an air there. The bow causing a lot of problems for Ahmed early on here, but he lands back to the stage and gets a nice end light.
There you go. Getting change coming out from Fezaru. Might be all that you need. We saw how destructive Miami was back with the Zol pick on Ahmed, but he's still on the Devil Jin. Let's see if it plays out any differently. Fezaru playing the neutral game a lot more. He's looking for just quick little catch landings. Ahmed, though, the wake-up master, has been great about following through almost immediately. A lot of whiffs. Matter of time before Fezaru can get some.
Yeah. Okay, we avoid that there. That N-Sig will, or sorry, the down-Sig will hit, but it ends up being a little too high. No problem for a player like Fezaru, though, as a downlight side air will come out to close out that stock.
Keep the streak on going. Fezaru right now, stock lead, 170 damage to his name. For sure, almost no way getting back onto the stage. He does GC neutral sig, but the recovery is out. Ahmed read it like a book. It's like the first stock never happened.
I love that dash for an end light. Ahmed creating a great amount of space versus Fezaru with that and forcing Fezaru into the corner. I think Yumiko is a legend that requires a lot of space to utilize a lot of their strengths, and right now getting dribbled like a basketball there as so many downers and recoveries come out. Fezaru taking quite a bit of damage, and Ahmed slowly sneaking his way into quite a big lead here if he can pull away with this damage.
Fezaru's having such a hard time engaging up against Ahmed, who's just jumping around, taking advantage of the double platforms on Miami. The hammer's not working out the same way as it did back on Fortress of Lions and other stages too. Fez swaps over to the bow. Something we didn't get to see a whole lot of since the Devil Jin swap. Well, okay. Now it's putting in work. DC downlight doesn't quite find the work, but the hammer's back out again, using these lanterns for manipulation. Trying to find some sort of rogue swing. Catching the landing off of Ahmed. GC D-Sig is good. Another one to follow through. Puts Ahmed in a precarious spot, but it's not enough for Fezaru to follow up with.
Ahmed comes out looking to check that landing from Ahmed. Ahmed doesn't take to that platform. The Cider comes out. A D-like Cider will be the ultimate punish for Fezaru there as a slide charge down stick comes out, but no dice. ECN light, is it enough? Yes, it is. Fezaru now putting Ahmed on his last stock with an opportunity to move forward here into the top 6. Fezaru knows that, and Ahmed knows it too, the gravity of the situation. You want to keep moving forward, and this last stock could be so important for Ahmed here. If he can hold on and even this up, it could easily become an Ahmed win. Fezaru doesn't want to choke this lead away, though. I don't think a player of his caliber will do something like that, but it's definitely possible. Recovery will come out there. Ahmed closing out that stock, and we go to a last stock, game 5, another one for the books here at Bearded Brawl's EU. $2,000 tournament. People know the stakes here. They know how important moving forward is. That next placement.
Ahmed's already eliminated his bracket demon, Bamya, who he lost Grand Finals bracket reset to just a week ago. He could just eliminate Fezaru. There's nothing stopping him from taking that first place championship trophy. He's got to make it work. He is in the lower bracket after all. It's easier said than done. 108 damage against Fezaru. Ahmed has that confidence. He's going in. He's engaging. And Fezaru has been swinging like a madman trying to find any sort of chip damage against this Devil Jin. Recovery's out. All it takes is a few more hits, and the path to victory is clear for this tournament. Fezaru is holding down tight. He just needs to get something cheeky going on. Send Ahmed out of here. But it's not working just yet. Signature's out. Neutral's not enough. Fezaru jumps around. He's looking to find some sort of anti-aerial with the bow. But Ahmed is playing it so safe. He knows he has all the advantages he could possibly hope for. The only thing stopping him now would be a massive choke.
Oh, that Cider calls out a lot. Ahmed now getting sent off stage. Oh, but he makes it back to the stage and the down stick comes out. But Ahmed chases forward with that dodge on the ground, and he's able to close in the distance on Fezaru. As it's getting quite close and too close to comfort if you're Ahmed here. You had such a big lead in this stock, but it's slowly squandered. Now the recovery comes out, doesn't find its punish. Down stick comes out. We got all the time in the world. Both these players realize that. Sidelight into weight recovery. Recovery doesn't connect. The side will disarm Ahmed, though. The weapon toss as well. Fezaru weapon toss ground recovery, and Fezaru steals the set away, and Fezaru wins in game number 5. What an incredible call out, and it all ends in a moment's notice as Fezaru moves forward. That was crazy.
What a great revenge run from Fezaru. He learned his lesson from the Kyokai Cup. He lost 2-3 to Ahmed, brought it back, and he did his homework. Not only could he counterplay the Zol that has been terrorizing everybody in EU since BCX, he also defeated one of probably Ahmed's best legend overall of that Zariel pick. He is looking fantastic to make a huge lower bracket run himself.
Oh, man. I immediately clicked over to the Ahmed stream to hear what he was thinking. He's punching himself there. He said, I had it.
Oh, no.
I had that game. I had that set 2 times there. I dropped it. And that's going to be a big win for Fezaru moving forward over PR number 3 in Europe. A big win for Fezaru. Definitely punching above his weight class. It's hard to say. I mean, even with a character specialist like Fezaru, it's weird to say that. But, I mean, that is PR number 3 of EU after all.
Absolutely. Gotta say, really enjoyed watching the Yumiko pick. Reminds me a lot of Flower back in NA. Just love to see the manipulation of positioning and just all the different versatile options that a legend that you don't really get to see a whole lot of outside of very specific players finding their specialty in. It's no Petra, it's no Zariel, it's no Mordex. It's definitely someone that you have to be very accustomed to. So always very happy to see a high-level Yumiko find success in this tournament thus far. But PJ, we move on forwards to a brand new series. That's right, and this is also a rematch as well. This is going to be earlier on we saw Fezaru falling to the hands of Razox 2-0 in the upper round 16, and now they eventually meet each other here. And of course, after the round 16, we saw Munir lose 3-0 to Razox as well. Both these players on absolute heaters, and I completely agree with you, PJ. I think anybody left in this tournament now could be the ones to take that championship win.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to see, and these lower elimination side sets are so important for like your own mood as well. Moving into this, as we all know, if you go to the elimination side, you have to play twice as many sets as your counterpart in the winner side. So you go into Razox versus Fezaru. We start on Miami Dome to start off this set.
That's right, no time to spare whatsoever. Fezaru, hot off the win, up against Ahmed, going for the bow immediately. Gonna have to face up against a player with a relatively similar playstyle, I would say. Same engagements. Ahmed, though, I would say, his micro incredibly good, great about reading the situation in real time and changing up his pacing. Razox, however, he is all aggression, and that's going to be a quick first stock.
It's crazy because if you didn't watch the previous set, I believe Ahmed played Devilgen versus Fezaru, right? So
yes.
This is a matchup that like Fezaru should be very, very confident in, especially after just beating PR number 3's version of it, level 100 at that. And Razox is putting on a completely different showing right now as Razox closes out that stock. And these edge guards have been incredibly potent. Razox up 3 stocks to 1.
Gotta say, big difference that we're seeing right off the rip here. And again, we're, 30 seconds into this match. Fezaru's down to his last stock. Is that Razox is not respecting the Yumiko signatures whatsoever. Ahmed fell into a trap of waiting them out and attempting to punish from there. Ray is getting ahead of the Sigs and looking for punishes.
Can't believe that worked. Just landing with an unarmed down air. Fezaru. I'm not sure, maybe not just quite ready to be in this set yet, as Razox looked very, very warm and very ready. Fezaru, I think, kind of mentally warming up here in this game number 1.
Yeah, it's been a big revenge run for Fezaru, too. You'd think he'd be more prepared for this. He beat out Ahmed. Again, we talked about his revenge story in the last set. This time around, Fezaru, this is the player that brought him down from the upper bracket, and he's bringing it back in spades. Homie woke up.
Good morning, Fezaru back into this one. It's not morning for the EU players, but morning for us, Keg. We got a down air there, Razox now. Sidelight into wait, the nair comes out. Fezaru now in a great spot as Razox squanders the lead and squanders his stage control there by putting himself so deep off stage, but Fezaru does not capitalize. Throws his weapon away, looking to cycle back to another hammer. And he will get it. Ground pound whiffs on Razox.
Oh, look at these spot dodges coming out now. The punishes are not likely from either one of these players, but off of the GC neutral sig, unfortunately, Razox does find punish potential off of the ground pound. Can he find a second one? No, he switches his options, goes for a side sig, spot dodge from Fezaru, and unfortunately sent back into the air. 130 damage now. Razox just needs one more solid hit and to call it a day for game 1. Down sig doesn't connect. Looking for a way to bring this back home. It's a quick recovery. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, game 1 off the hands of the Devilgen.
I think very fortunate that Razox was able to close out that game after being up 3 stocks to 1 so confidently. I think it's incredibly important to find those wins, especially as Fezaru kind of gifted you that game number 1. We go into game number 2 now with Fezaru finding a new sense of purpose, I think, in this set. We'll see how it plays out.
Oh yes, the lock back into I was gonna say try hard, but the edgier Yumiko, I think, will be the lock-in that Fezaru needs at the moment. Really needs to harken back to the days of 20-30 minutes ago facing against Ahmed. But again, Razox, he's overly aggressive. He is looking for any opportunity possible to make sure Fezaru can't get anything going. And so Fezaru, he had to adapt. He did find some success towards the end of game 1, but now he's matching up the aggression perfectly.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Razox did to Fezaru in the last game. Somehow that Ensig will find its mark. Razox is able to make it back to the stage, though, as that Ensig does hit him right as he touches the stage, so he's able to get back to it. And the damage build, as much as those hits were great, kind of want to close out that stock there because Razox is back in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. No pressure at all from Ahmed. Did not crumble to the fact that he nearly lost out so early on. Keeping up with the bow, though. Great recovery. A fantastic read to work around the soft platforms. Neutral sig doesn't connect, though. Gravity cancel down light into a ground pound. Fezaru trying to go toe-to-toe with that extended speed off the hands of the Yumiko. Great GC down light into a recovery yet again. Catching out, ping-ponging Razox everywhere. Reads the GC down sig with his own whiff and then goes for the punish. Fezaru's on a different level right now.
Hey, Fzaru with this very fragile lead, especially versus a legend like Devilgen that is so good at finding those like one hits that find those KOs with the gauntlets, I should say. The bow can struggle in that sense, but the Endlight will send coast to coast. Not enough to KO, but close to enough. And that down air, where are we going with that Razox? An incredibly like intense read there. Doesn't pay off, but no punish, so you're okay with it, I guess.
Yeah, good reset though for both these players. Razox tries to push him once again. Fezaru's been in this spot before. He's playing for extra credit. Chip damage off the hands of the D-Sig. Nair doesn't connect. Literally a beam of light could take down Fezaru. And a side arrow is just that. But Razox, look at how much damage he has against him, PJ. That's a lot.
And yeah, I mean, this is just definitely not helping that. You have to face down Yumiko, an incredibly good character at like switching up the pace of a match so quickly and easily able to find KOs, especially with these setups. Ground pound attempt gets to the weapon toss into a downer. Razox has no options as he goes too low with that ground pound. And in the mirror matchup there, it's a lot easier to punish those like stall and fall ground pounds like that one.
Razox playing wedge now.
Razox definitely wanting that downer to send Fezaru off the stage. It sends him in the stage, and not so great, but we're still happy as Fezaru here, who has a stock lead.
Razox! Bro, pull the Kinger. Same exact location, too. That's crazy.
Fezaru takes the game. I don't know what to say about that, but Fezaru immediately evens up the set count.
Okay. Huh. A little anticlimactic again. We'll have to see how the next matchup goes. Razox immediately bans out Miami. Does not want anything to do with it. Goes to Western Air Temple. And it feels like these are like Razox matchups are the only matchups we see consistently with Western Air.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
All right, here we go. Game number 3 for the set advantage. Both players realizing how important it is. These players have been here and done that. Might into down air to start off the action into an immediate recovery. Razox not wanting to burn a dodge or give it away easily. Side air comes out, D-Light into recovery. Fezaru chase dodging diagonal into the wall, and Razox taking quite a bit of damage there. D-Light into side air, another GC D-Light. Razox finally getting some action, but immediately gets called out with an end light there on the hammer, and Fezaru's hammer has looked so good, and this is exactly what we saw dismantle Ahmed's Devil Jin in his previous set as he was able to take the set over pure number 3. Razox now kind of falling into the same traps that Ahmed did.
Oh, I love that tech. D-Sig into the lanterns, then jump up into the lanterns to get punished. GC side Sig, attempt to hit onto the small platforms. Fortunately, doesn't work, but that one certainly does. Second one doesn't connect, however. But right now, both players a frog's hair away from being taken down. That was a great dodge maneuver from Razox, dodging downwards. Still gets hit with a weapon toss, excuse me. GC neutral Sig doesn't connect. But still, anything can remove this first stock. And all these signatures that Razox is attempting to bring out, getting caught immediately to the down sig of Fezaru. That's going to be the first stock gone.
Okay, Fezaru now honing in forward, looking for this big open up here, and looking for a way to really extend this lead. End light into side light there as Razox going for these side signatures. Now it's not really working out. Fezaru has fully waken up. He's fully come into his own in this set, and
oh, what a dodge!
Difficult. He's just so locked in here. He's completely nullifying this Devil Jin pick.
Bro's reading into the future. That was such a crazy dodge. Again, another GC Sig dodge. Knows full well that Ray's going to go for the nuclear option to try to end his first stock. A lot of panic coming out from Razox's side. Double, triple weapon throw. Oh. Not enough to confirm. The first stock is gone. Some of the bleeding's been stifled, but Razox is still so close to that final.
Nice recovery there. Then air comes out, a side air from Razox, but Fezaru with so much of a damage lead that every time Razox gets a hit and Fezaru reversal, that sends him so far away, he can't even continue the aggression, which is what you want to see on the gauntlets here. Fezaru looking for this KO, landing side air, side light into Nair, doesn't get it there.
Oh, huge whip on that side air. That's going to be enough to scoop and score, like you say, PJ. That's the last stock now for Razox. And honestly, the gap isn't... Oh no, not again.
Where are we going?
Okay.
What's the plan here? Navigation turned off. We're making right turns and left turns for no reason. We're off stage
Bro got
somehow.
lost in Yonkers.
Yeah, it's bad. The side light comes out for Fezaru holding the stage to Razox as Razox is scrambling for a way to get back to the stage. And light comes out. Razox now chase dodging forward there, trying to close in on Fezaru's stock. Side light recovery will be enough. And Razox puts himself right back into this contention in the set.
Yeah, I was going to say, really good follow-up here. Good cleanup overall. Razox, he has a good game plan in mind. That's just to go for the goofiest, most unpredictable stuff you can against Fez. Big setup, heavy Yumiko pick. So I gotta be careful now. Side air's out. Met in return with an equal side air. Punch to the face, a side sig to the face at that too. Fezaru takes the lead of the set.
Going to be a big win for Fezaru, and I kind of feel like you know, I like made a read that Fezaru was just not awake in the game number 1, and I think it's kind of like showing true, but I think Razox kind of waking up there, forcing that last stock, playing quite well. So I don't think it's over yet for either of these players. If you had to ask me, I would definitely think that we might be going to game 5, but we'll have to see here.
Oh, I like this choice. It was between Demon, Small World's End, and Moss Isley for game 4. Fezaru choosing the longest stage with the biggest blast zones and small platforms to work off of. I think this is a very solid choice for Fezaru to work with this Yumiko kit. It's going to bait out Razox to play off edge, and that is exactly where Yumiko shines the most.
Okay. We're starting off with, oh man, this I really got beef with this stage, man. Like this stage, like yeah, as a caster, like players like very much love to just play for timeout on this stage. This stage, the particular layout causes a lot of like slow pace matches, but right now, even in a bow mirror, these players are holding forward, all gas, no brakes. Side air comes out from Razox, a reversal, another side air, and a GC down sig. There's your stock. Say goodbye. As Razox takes that first stock. He's back in the set, I'm telling you.
Just a blast of heat came out of my monitor, fried my eyebrows. Good lord. Alright, overall, things are looking pretty good. It's all off stage play. This is exactly what Fezaru wanted, but Razox is going toe-to-toe against the bow.
I'm so used to players like playing the opposite of this on this stage, where they just kind of hold center and wait for the platform. So it's interesting that this is the option for Razox as the Russian Mafia comes in. D-Light into recovery into down air, scoop and score. Any given Sunday, Fezaru now evening up the stock count. Razox though happy to take the damage lead and hopefully snowball this into a game 5, forcing game number 5.
It's definitely a possibility. Razox, I would say, still has been in the driver's seat in this matchup for a lot of the time. Fezaru, he's had great moments, of course. The games that he's won, like 2 of them. But in just neutral play, it really feels like it's Fezaru reacting better and finding higher damage, and Razox setting the stage. But as I say that, though, it isn't a completely even game. It's a difference of 4 damage overall. And Fezaru looking for a time to shoot. So huge. Any other stage that would have KO'd.
Oh, that's going to be the slam dunk for Razox there, as Razox holds on to the chances to force this game 5. Fezaru now needs to close out the stock quickly. I feel like GC down light the wrong way. The sider comes out. Nice punish, or nice dodge from Razox, I should say. GC side sig. Nice jump over. Sider comes out. Nair. Guess for game? He guesses right.
Recovery's out. Unarmed. Going to have the biggest struggle on this stage out of any other. And even then, though, gravity, signature doesn't connect, but the breakdance does. Fezaru has 1 stock left to lock out Razox from the lower side from this tournament.
Okay, a lot of jumps up here looking for these landing catches. This is the most Isley that I know and love. They're just holding the center stage. Fezaru, Razox playing around the corner, not wanting to give any extra damage, as Razox has quite a bit of a lead here.
Easier said than done.
They pick up Fezaru. Holding on. Razox with such a big damage lead, though. Yeah, it looks like it, but you can kind of nullify this Fezaru pick. We see the down sig get immediately called out. Fezaru with a big 6-piece ground pound. Why? It doesn't make any sense. What are we doing? GC down like ground pound. Razox takes it the ground pound. You had it in your bag. You hit 6 hits. You're happy to take the stage control. You're playing Yumiko, but he throws it away with a ground pound. I will never understand, as Razox takes that game. I feel like that was Fezaru's chance, and if Razox wins that, I would have to think that ground pound could have been the big throw. That was crazy, man.
That's a big throw, PJ. I gotta ask you, we go to game 5. Is that gonna be the nail in the coffin for Fezaru's run this tournament? Can he close it out now?
Just like, I mean, you have to hold on. Maybe in the situation where that was supposed to be like a slide, like a down sig, slide charge down sig or something, but I just do not understand. And now as we go into this next game, you kind of just have to forget that game. That was quite a grueling game to play for both the players. And Razox is happy to take that game, and now kind of holding forward. Fezaru, though, I feel like you can find some confidence in the fact that your hammer almost did it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these players have won Miami before. This is the most neutral of neutral games that or stages we could go to.
Okay.
Early on, the pacing seems to have gone down quite a bit since we got into Mos Eisley. Fezaru is heating it up with his hammer, but Razox is playing a lot more respectful, similar to how we saw Ahmed play Devil Jin against Fezaru's Yumiko, and that did not work out well for him.
Comes out with the GC. Razox owning in on Fezaru here. Fezaru, I mean, as much as I thought that that was a tragic loss with that ground pound, he's lost no time in taking control back in the set in this game 5. Side air comes out, down stick as well, weapon toss, picks up a hammer, tries to turn around with a GC downlight, doesn't get the GC downlight though.
Fezaru is waiting for an opportunity to strike. Doesn't come too far away. That's stock 1 gone of Razox. 90 damage of the Fezaru's name. He's playing for the weapon extension. Looking to starve. Wants to make sure that bow's not picked up, but throws the hammer. Luckily does pick it up in the process. Could have gone from bad to worse. DC neutral sig doesn't connect again. Sets up Fezaru for another small whittling hit. The Razox really needs to close out this first stock as soon as possible, and that doesn't come too far away either.
It's quite even now for Fezaru and Razox. It's a little bit of damage for Razox, but it's really nothing too crazy. Fezaru now owning in here, looking for that nair with that down stick coming out as well, but no connections on these down sticks. Razox has played it really well. I'm really surprised that Razox is like holding the corner so long here, or sitting himself in the corner, I should say. He puts himself in the corner a couple times there with those whiff recoveries. Turnaround GC downlight into the recovery. Nice read attempt from Fezaru to catch a landing. Doesn't get it there. GC side stick from Razox. Big burst option, and Fezaru getting called out by the GC end stick and no options. No chance. A downer comes out. He barely touches the wall. Fezaru makes it back. Not quite the weapon toss. Interrupts the end stick. He saves himself, but it's not enough, and Razox now with a 2-stock-to-1 lead.
I cannot believe it. What a trade! And Fezaru just takes it right off. He keeps on going. No weapon to speak of. And even when he runs over desperately to pick it up, Razox steals it away. But this time, finally, bow v bow. A mirror again. Fezaru wants to get the double revenge run. But can he survive it? Ooh, sweat beats. It's Razox takes game.
And it all came down to that. Game 4, Fezaru with an opportunity to take the set outright, squanders it with a ground pound, and Razox dominates game number 5.
Ooh-wee. Look, each set that we're getting just gets better and better. More fiery, more focused, more wild trades. Sure, Miami, for the most part that we've seen today, regardless of what set we're watching, PJ, has had interesting fall-offs. I gotta say, that one with Fezaru going for his elimination was the most interesting one that we've had so far.